All right, let's get to the story. What's your big story this week?
All right, so my main story this week is about Sasha Banks. So I've been trying to get this like double verified throughout the day, and a couple of people have now told me it. So I'm just going to go to my text.
So this is now double verified.
Yeah, double verified. So Sasha Banks.
It's better than being double indemnified, which means you can get sued twice.
So Sasha Banks yesterday was in the office for WOW. I don't actually know what WOW stands for because this is how
Women of Wrestling.
Okay. She was in LA. Hold on, it says here, who probably interested in being an LA female owned by Jeannie Boost, flexible, blah, 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 trying to make it active.
Yeah, that's Jerry Buss's daughter.
What's that, sorry?
That's Jerry Buss's daughter, the ex-owner.
Yeah.
Right, so she was in a meeting with this person, and she was also in a meeting with AJ Lee, who's the producer. So Sasha Banks, who we spoke about last week, still hasn't got her release. I did post a story about that, about Sasha Banks with more details this week. I'll just bring it up on my Patreon. But yeah, I mean, that's the situation at the moment.
So she's not released.
From what I've been told, she's not released yet because of the issues.
How much would you say she was making there, Billy?
What, WWE?
Yeah.
Oh, she's making $1 million guaranteed because she didn't come back to work in 2018 until 2019 until she made it, because everybody got the $1 million pay rise before her. Becky got it after Charlotte, and then Sasha was the third person out of the horsewomen to get it. And Becky's one come out of nowhere, because remember where Becky was on the card in 2018? She was nowhere.
Yeah, before Nia Jax punched her. Yeah.
Yeah.
$1 million, and she's probably selling some merch. How do you leave that money over some tag team? But anyways, go ahead.
So let me read through my story here, and I'll try and just paraphrase this as quickly as I can. So Raj Giri said that she was released because he was reacting to her being removed from the largest number of dates that she was removed from. I've been told that both girls were handed a 30-day unpaid suspension. The maximum suspension you can get is 6 weeks, because after that it's declared to be denying somebody from making a living. You can't say, oh, you're going to have a 6-month unpaid suspension. That's not legally allowed because you can be sued for that. So 6 weeks is the maximum. So these girls got 30 days, which is a month. Both of them ended last
30 days is a month?
30 days is a month. 28 to 30 days.
It's February, right?
But they both ended last Thursday. So their talks with Naomi, which are said to be largely positive, although she didn't talk about signing a new deal. She's out of contract soon. She's already working owed dates. Owed dates are dates you work when you didn't work enough dates in your contract. So if you had an injury or whatever, or you had time off. However, by contrast, Sasha Banks refused to have her talks directly and directed her agent and attorney to handle her talks. And those talks resulted in an immediate removal from a large block of bookings. So according to my information, Sasha should now be receiving her downside guarantee because the 30 days are up. And like Naomi, she should be waiting to come in. However, she's choosing not to return to work or communicate directly. So she's now in breach of contract. This means that Sasha could be liable for missing advertised dates when she's been pulled from, and she may be required to pay money to get out of the WWE contract, which has 26 months remaining. The way this would be paid could be possibly by forfeiting a large number of royalties which are owed to her from products bearing a likeness. So that's money owed already, plus future products like toys, video games, stuff that's already been made. So this is likely what's being discussed with her lawyers and her agent, with talks temporarily shelved while WWE were dealing with their internal issues. So what that essentially means is that if she leaves, how much money does she owe them? How much money do they owe her in royalties? And how much do they project that she's supposed to be owed from video game checks and figures and things like that? And then they'll come to a round figure, if that's the way it goes. So this is the interesting part. My understanding is Banks' lawyers decided to offer a deal where they conceded that Sasha Banks could be granted her release. Hold on. I'm trying to make this too quick. Let me just read it as it is.
Yeah.
We understand that talks of Banks' lawyers are likely to resume on Tuesday. However, our sources firmly believe that they could conclude with Sasha Banks being granted a release. She will have to commit to a near seven-figure settlement with the WWE. However, it's worth noting, this is the interesting bit, that we have been told that one of the proposals put forward by Banks' representatives was that Sasha is willing to adhere to a long-term no-compete clause that wouldn't allow her to wrestle again in 2022. That must just be with AEW because she's meeting with WOW Wrestling. This means that Sasha's party have approached the talks with a strategy that Sasha wants to move on from wrestling. This would likely significantly reduce the likelihood of Sasha owing the WWE money, other than forfeiture of royalties, and that would pour cold water on all AEW fantasy matches being posted on Twitter. And then I just put here.
Well, it just sounds kind of obvious then. She's meeting with WOW, which is a TV show that she'll just go work for them. Is what she's trying to set up, basically. Because that's not wrestling. That's not wrestling. That wouldn't be considered wrestling. That's a television show because they're not doing shows in front of live audiences.
Oh, okay.
It's a produced television. WOW is a produced television show.
So this is WOW from Netflix.
Yeah, it's like Lucha Underground.
No,
WOW from Netflix.
No, that's Glow.
Oh, Glow. Wait. So what is WOW? Wait, I thought WOW is the same thing as like Glow is a TV show.
No, WOW is a wrestling show. They might not do it. Yeah. That's the one that Tessa Blanchard was on. Just got canned.
Oh, besides, let me hear that too. If you got a story on that, what happened with Tessa Blanchard and WOW? Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know. I've never really followed WOW.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100. My co-host Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!